So I've been on hundreds and hundreds of consultation calls from both men and women. And out of all these calls that I've been on over the years, there's been one common denominator that seems to really affect people as far as how to actually lose weight. And more importantly, actually lose fat. Okay, so out of these calls that I've had, it seems that the common denominator is there's just so much conflicting information out there as to actually how to do it. So what I'm hoping to do in this video is to really make it simple for you if you've been struggling to lose fat, lose weight. Now, before we actually get into that, for those of you who don't know who I am, I've had some new subscribers. My name is Tim Ernst. I've been an intermittent keto fasting coach since 2018. My fitness journey started when I was 25. I'll be 49 this month. So it's been about, 24 years that I've been into fitness, but I really didn't become a coach until about 2018. So what I did in 2018 is I really let my weight affect me pretty bad. It got away from me. So I had got married, had kids, I was always into fitness, when I was single, I was always in shape. And then somewhere along the lines after I got married and had kids, I gained a lot of weight. I was sitting at about 243 pounds. And I decided, okay, that's it. I'm so unhealthy. I want to be here for my kids, my wife. I was probably on the borderline of pre-diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, and I wanted no part of that. So in 2018, I started dabbling into different types of diets that I've never tried before. One of them being the keto diet. And in just 7 short months, I lost 70 pounds in 7 months. So that was an experience that was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. When I actually achieved that, I never felt better in my entire life. I mean, that transformation was so pivotal in my quest to get healthy that I decided to help others achieve the same thing. So I've helped, both men and women, such as, let's see, who do we have here? We've got Tony. Tony was a type 1 diabetic, and I was able to help him take half of what he was taking in insulin. Okay, so he lost over 70 pounds, started taking half of his insulin. So he changed his life. And then Jimmy was a 62-year-old grandpa who lost 70 pounds in 6 months with me. And Arthur was someone who dealt with a lot of sleep apnea, and his wife, after him and I started working together, it totally changed his life. He had no more sleep apnea, and his wife wrote to me and said, "You completely changed my husband's life. He's never going to go back to the way of eating." So I want to try to simplify this for you. And, on my journey to lose weight, I always heard the whole calories in, calories out, type of talk on YouTube. And a lot of people seem to say that that's all that really matters is calories in, calories out. Now, back in 2018, when I did my own transformation, I really wasn't tracking calories so hard. What I did was I just took all the carbs and sugars out of my diet because I kept hearing this thing about insulin. Got to keep your insulin low, got to keep your blood sugars low. And I used to get attacked for that. I would have people tagging other YouTubers who were in the field who were much more smarter than I am, and I would get attacked in the comments like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's all about calories in, calories out. It's not about insulin and blood sugars and all that." And I started to believe them. I started to believe like, oh, maybe that's all it really is. It's just calories in, calories out. And I kind of went away from that. But now new research has shown that it's actually more than just calories in, calories out. And I'm going to give you a couple things that are vital for your fat loss. Okay, number one is going to be hormones. Your hormones are going to play a major role in your journey to lose weight. And if you hear some like trucks out here, there's a lot of construction in this neighborhood. I'm in a pretty developing neighborhood. But anyway, hormones are going to play a significant role in your quest to lose weight, because when you're eating like processed type foods, that your body doesn't need, it's going to affect your hormones. I don't care how much of a calorie deficit you are in. If you're eating processed foods, you know what's gonna happen? It's gonna affect your energy, it's gonna affect your hormones, and it's gonna affect your blood sugar levels and your insulin spikes all throughout the day. So when you combine all of that, you're not gonna be very healthy. And one point I wanna make is that a lot of people go into weight loss or fat loss to get healthy, but it's actually backwards, okay? That's not the way you should be looking at it. How you should be looking at it is I want to get healthy first. And the byproduct of getting healthy is weight loss, okay? So keep that in mind. You know, a lot of people go into weight loss, I wanna get healthy, I wanna get healthy. No, get healthy first, then the weight will naturally come off. You won't even have to force it off, okay? So going back to hormones, okay, hormones play a major, major role. When you're eating, let me just give you an example. Let's say you eat, you know, between 600 to 800 calories of processed food in a meal. And then the other meal is 600 to 800 calories, same calories, but you're eating something like steak and eggs. Okay, so you've got same exact calories in both meals. Which one do you think is gonna be healthier for you? Which one do you think is gonna be better for your hormones? Which one do you think is gonna be better for your energy levels? I guarantee you it's gonna be the steak and the eggs. It's not the processed stuff. And how I know that is that when you eat a lot of processed junk, how do you feel? Do you get those midday crashes? Do you get tired, lethargic? And maybe you start to see that you're struggling to lose weight. I mean, there's only so many calories you can keep cutting, okay? This is why I don't really like the whole calories in, calories out model. Yeah, you can eat a bunch of processed stuff in a caloric deficit, but at some point you're gonna plateau, and what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep cutting calories? You can't just keep cutting calories. You're gonna back yourself up into a corner where you're gonna ruin your metabolism. And you know what happens to a lot of people who cut their calories because they made it all about calories in, calories out? They're the ones that end up gaining all the weight back. Have you noticed that? Those are the people that have destroyed their metabolism, and now they've gained all the weight back. And this is why people fall victim to the whole yo-yo dieting, and then just going back and forth with their weight. They're trying different diets, you know, every January, making a New Year's resolution, because they've adopted this mentality of like, it's just calories in, calories out. That's all this is all about. And that's just simply not true. There's more to it, okay? Also, when you're eating processed foods, okay, it's gonna sap your energy, it's gonna affect your sleep, and a lot of people neglect sleep. They don't realize how important sleep actually is for hormones and just for overall well-being when you wake up in the morning and have the energy to do all the things that you need to do, okay? So what I have adopted in my own life is the keto diet or carnivore type diet with fasting. This is gonna correct a lot of things. It's gonna keep those blood sugars low. It's gonna keep the insulin low. Therefore, you're gonna have more of an all-day natural energy instead of these ups and down crashes that a lot of people experience when they eat a bunch of junk food and processed foods. So I wanna keep this very, very simple, okay? That's what this video was designed to do. I don't wanna complicate things, but just take the carbs and the sugars out of the diet. That's all you gotta do, okay? And if you're used to eating 3 meals a day, just start with that. Eat your 3 meals a day like normally. But if you saw my other video yesterday, do not snack in between those meals. I'm telling you, the snacking is gonna ruin your progress. And most snacks aren't healthy for you, unless you're eating like a beef jerky or something like that that's healthy for you. But most snacks, they're all processed stuff. I mean, let's just face it, the cookies, the chips, and all this junk that they have in convenience stores and all that. You gotta make sure that you're making healthier options, okay? This is what I've taught my clients. I think a lot of the consultation calls I've been on, people are confused, and I don't blame them. I mean, there's just so many diets out there. There's so many so-called gurus trying to tell you, how to lose weight. I don't really consider myself like a guru. I just know it works, okay? I lost 70 pounds in 7 months. I've helped my clients do the same thing. They've got healthier. I'm just doing what works, okay? Yes, science has a place, but look, the results speak for themselves, okay? You may have noticed I'm wearing a muscle camp shirt too. That's another thing I need to touch on, is that the more muscle you have, the more calories you'll burn at rest, okay? So don't neglect doing some form of strength training while you're on your weight loss plan. That's going to be very, very beneficial for you, okay? So really just keep it that simple. Take the carbs, the sugars out of the diet. This way it's going to keep that insulin low. It's going to keep the blood sugars low. And guess what happens? You're not going to have the midday crashes. You're not going to have the cravings. If you've dealt with cravings in the past, it's because you're constantly spiking blood sugars. You're constantly spiking that insulin. Insulin's job is to lower blood sugars, okay? Even when you eat healthy, if you're eating protein and fat and that's it, insulin is still gonna show up and it's gonna reduce the blood sugars, okay? Insulin's job is to shuttle the sugars into the cell, okay? That's the job, okay? It secretes out of the pancreas, it shuttles all the glucose, sugars into the cell. But what happens is if you're consuming too much sugar, too many carbs, processed stuff, where is that blood sugar gonna go? It ends up in your blood. The insulin can't get rid of a lot of it and push it into the cell, so it becomes a fat storing hormone. That's what happens when you're constantly spiking your insulin and the blood sugars have nowhere to go. It's in the blood. What's gonna happen is you're going to experience these crashes during the day. You're gonna have low energy, your cravings, you're gonna be constantly craving, and you're just overall just gonna be unhealthy, okay? I like to just keep these videos and this channel raw and real with you, okay? I do what works. I test these things on myself to see if they work, and then I help others achieve the same results that I've achieved in many of my other clients. Now, if you want more information about what I do, I should have said this in the beginning of the video, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description that'll kind of give you more in detail as to exactly what I do and how I could possibly help you on your journey to get healthy first, and then the byproduct being actual weight loss, okay? So I hope this made sense to you. Just to wrap up, it's more than just calories in, calories out. Hormones play a major role in your journey to lose weight. Proper sleep is going to help you. Again, when you're eating processed stuff, you're going to have poor sleep. So you got to have proper sleep, and you're going to want to have better energy throughout the day to do all the things you have to do during the day. These all play a role. And if you can manage to keep that insulin low and those blood sugars low, you'll be able to experience all of that. And that's why I do keto, carnivore with intermittent fasting. It eliminates all of that stuff, okay? It eliminates the low energy. It eliminates any of the diseases that people suffer from today. So many people have type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, sleep apnea, high blood pressure. You may have experienced that. You may know someone in your family that has that. I'm telling you, take the sugars and the processed garbage out of your diet, and you are going to have this well-being of feeling so good. You'll wonder, how did you function in the past? I've dealt with that, where I'm like, man, I feel so great. How the heck did I function when I was eating all the junk? The reality is I wasn't functioning too well, okay? I felt like crap. I was overweight. I was running the risk of type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and a host of other things, okay? So I hope this video kind of just makes it clear, okay? It's not all about calories in, calories out. Hormones play a role. You want to have better energy levels by keeping that insulin and those blood sugars low, and you'll be amazed how fast you will lose weight. So if you like the video, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Until then, I'll see you next time.